Many names, one truth, a starseed's journey through faith. I am not Christian, but Christ is King, at least the Christ who taught you to love your neighbor, to turn the other cheek, to care for the poor, and to never discriminate against anyone. Not the version shaped by power or fear, but the one rooted in compassion, humility, and truth. That is the Christ I recognize. That is the message the world still needs. I am not Muslim, but there is something deeply beautiful in Islam. The devotion, the discipline, the surrender to something greater than oneself. The reminder that no matter how chaotic life becomes, you can pause, bow your head, and reconnect with the divine. The emphasis on charity, humility, and living with intention and gratitude. That is the Islam I recognize. That is the beauty worth seeing. I am not Jewish, but there is something deeply beautiful in Judaism, the questioning, the wisdom, the enduring relationship with the divine, a tradition that does not ask you to silence your mind, but to wrestle with meaning, seek understanding, and grow through reflection, the emphasis on community, remembrance, justice, and repairing the world, one act of kindness at a time. That is the Judaism I recognize. That is the beauty worth honoring. I am not Hindu, but there is something deeply beautiful in Hinduism, the vastness of its wisdom, the many paths it offers, and the understanding that the divine can be experienced in countless forms, a tradition that embraces both the inner journey and the outer world, teaching that truth can be found through devotion, knowledge, action, or meditation. That is the Hinduism I recognize. That is the beauty worth honoring. I am not Buddhist, but there is something deeply beautiful in Buddhism, the stillness, the awareness, the path toward inner peace, a teaching that gently reminds us that suffering can be understood, attachment can be released, and freedom begins within, the practice of compassion, mindfulness, and presence. That is the Buddhism I recognize. That is the beauty worth honoring. I am not Sikh, but there is something deeply beautiful in Sikhism, the spirit of equality, the strength of service, and the remembrance of the divine in all things. A path that teaches you to see no one as higher or lower, to stand for justice, and to serve others selflessly. That is the Sikhism I recognize. That is the beauty worth honoring. I am not Taoist, but there is something deeply beautiful in Taoism, the quiet flow, the balance, the harmony with the natural way of things. A path that teaches you not to force, but to trust, not to control, but to align, to move with life rather than against it. That is the Taoism I recognize. That is the beauty worth honoring. I am not an indigenous spiritual practitioner, but there is something deeply beautiful in indigenous traditions, the reverence for the earth, the ancestors, and the cycles of life. A way of being that teaches you to listen, to honor all living beings, and to act with respect, gratitude, and responsibility toward the world around you. That is the indigenous spirituality I recognize. That is the beauty worth honoring. I am not Shinto, but there is something deeply beautiful in Shinto, the reverence for nature, the spirits in all things, and the celebration of life's sacred rhythms. A path that teaches you to notice the world around you, to honor rivers, mountains, trees, and the unseen presence that dwells within them. That is the Shinto I recognize. That is the beauty worth honoring. I am a starseed from Sirius, living as a human. I was raised by a mother who practiced Buddhism, but she also sent me to church. She told me something I carry with me every day. God is the same, and all religion is a way for humans to teach us how to be kind and loving. I can worship anywhere I want, in a temple, in a church, in a synagogue, in a mosque, or out in nature. And I have experienced God in all of these places, but especially in the mountains, where the silence and vastness make it easy to feel connected to something greater. I have witnessed God in churches, in malls, in quiet streets, even in the ordinary moments of life, and my mother was right. God goes by many names on earth, but the core message is always the same: love, compassion, kindness, and oneness. It doesn't matter who you are or what religion you follow, you are more than you realize, and your highest calling is to live more fully in love. And in that love, we are also meant to appreciate our differences, because it is through different cultures, languages, and beliefs that humanity finds so many ways to express the same truth. Many paths, many traditions, many voices, yet they all lead back to the same purpose: to grow, to connect, and to care for one another.